This is a small stainless steel shot glass crucible I found at the thrift store, and it holds about 50 grams. Okay, exactly 50 grams of sodium chloride. Next, I put it into my furnace, turn on the propane, and just blast it until it melts. This takes about 10 minutes, and you can tell when it's melted because the bright yellow sodium flames coming out the top. Well, let's put it into my high-tech pouring device and see what happens. That wasn't too bad. We survived. Well, I was expecting an explosion, and that hardly splattered at all. I'll try this again.
2, 1.
Alright, now I'm getting pretty disappointed. I thought this would explode, so I heated it up really hot, and I said I'm going to pour it in as fast as I can.
And 3, 2, 1. Oh my god! I got it. No way.
This explosion was totally awesome and a total surprise. I was expecting a little bit of splattering, but what I got was like a full-on, powerful explosion. Look at the cavitation bubbles on the glass, and it just shattered it and blew that fish tank glass across my yard. I still don't know what's going on, and I think we should try again. Plus, an experiment has to be repeatable to be valid. That last shot was awesome, but I think it was a little bit overexposed, so I put a zoom lens on it and I cranked down the exposure so it'll be darker and maybe we can see better what's going on. If this one goes boom, we gotta protect your little doggy ears too. Good point. Three, two, one. Oh, I'm so scared. Yep, that was an explosion. Even at 7,000 frames per second, the explosion is nearly instantaneous. You can see just a small amount of sodium chloride salt could create this huge gas bubble. And just when I think it's over, there's more little explosions happening on the inside surface of this gas bubble. And just when I think it's done, boom. You know, that actually looks pretty peaceful. I mean, pretty peaceful for a cloud filled with molten salt expanding at several thousand feet per second that's trying to kill you. It still looks pretty nice. A close-up view was really interesting. Now I wanted to see what a wide-angle shot would look like. 2, 1. Cool. It's really interesting to see the force of this explosion. The glass on the fish tank flexes back and forth and the whole thing jumps up an inch into the air. It probably displaced about 2 gallons of water out of the fish tank. This did end up breaking my fish tank, but not really. It just separated the glass from each other without breaking it. Now we're bumping it up to 21,000 frames per second. A little bit smaller resolution, but we gotta try. Alright, so we got a new fish tank and we're ready to try some other salts. The first one we're going to try is borax. It's like a laundry detergent booster, and it also has use as a flux in like casting. You put it on top to keep the oxygen away. And it contains sodium tetraborate, so it's an ionic compound, and we'll see if this one explodes too. Alright, 3, 2, 1. I'll make these next few clips quick because nothing really crazy happened in them. I poured borax, sodium carbonate, and boric acid into the fish tanks. They were protected by the Leidenfrost effect the whole time, so they were never able to contact the water directly, which means they never exploded. So it's kind of interesting why salt explodes, but not the other ionic liquids, even with a higher melting point. Alright, so if this is chemical, I think I have a way to test it out. So some of you guys might think that it's the sodium and the sodium chloride that's reacting with the water. So I've gone ahead and I've chopped up like 5 grams of sodium metal, and what we're going to do is melt it and pour it into the fish tank. So if it's a chemical reaction, we should see the same style and speed of explosion that we've been seeing so far. I think this is the stupidest thing I've ever done. 3, 2, Well, that was pretty interesting. and scary. Let's check the high speed. Sodium metal reacts pretty violently when poured into water as expected, but